When did a new soldier outsmart veteran NCOs? Private Marcus Allen, straight out of basic training, assigned to our motor pool at a base in Germany. Kid looked like he belonged in a library, not an armored division. Thick glasses, soft hands, spoke like he'd swallowed a dictionary. The NCOs smelled fresh meat immediately. Staff Sergeant Williams, 20-year veteran, decided to break him in properly. Allen, you're on fuel duty. Check every vehicle in the motor pool. Make sure they're all topped off. Simple task, right? Wrong. Williams had rigged the game. Half the vehicles had faulty fuel gauges reading empty when they were actually full. The other half read full when they were bone dry. Classic hazing ritual designed to make the new guy look incompetent. Allen nodded politely and headed out with his clipboard. The NCOs gathered around Williams's desk, waiting for the entertainment. Usually took new soldiers 3 hours of confusion and multiple trips to the fuel depot before they figured out something was wrong. 30 minutes later, Allen returned, handed Williams a detailed report listing every vehicle's actual fuel level, engine hours since last service, tire pressure readings, and recommended maintenance schedules for the next 6 months. Williams stared at the paperwork. How did you know the gauges were broken? Allen adjusted his glasses. I didn't rely on the gauges, Sergeant. I calculated fuel consumption based on engine hours, cross-referenced with maintenance logs, and physically measured tank levels using a dipstick. Also noticed someone had been tampering with the gauge wiring harnesses. The motor pool went dead silent. This skinny kid had just exposed a prank that had been running for 5 years, but he wasn't done. I also discovered that vehicle 247 has a slow fuel leak. Based on the staining pattern under the engine compartment, you're losing approximately 2 gallons per week. At current fuel prices, that's costing the Army about $43 monthly or $516 annually per vehicle. Allen pulled out his phone, showing a spreadsheet he'd created. If this leak pattern exists across the entire fleet, we're looking at potential losses exceeding $60,000 per year just from preventable fuel waste. Sergeant First Class Martinez whistled low. Kid's got a point, Williams. When's the last time anyone actually checked for leaks? Williams tried to regain control. Allen, you're overthinking this. It's just a fuel check, not a full inspection. With respect, Sergeant, the manual clearly states that any fuel-related duty includes leak detection and consumption analysis. I'm just following proper procedure. That's when Allen dropped the real bomb. I also noticed the fuel depot's inventory logs don't match the disbursement records. There's a discrepancy of approximately 200 gallons over the past month. The color drained from Williams' face. He'd been skimming fuel and selling it on the black market. Nothing major, just enough to supplement his income. But Allen's systematic approach had uncovered everything. Perhaps we should discuss this privately, Williams suggested, voice tight. Allen shook his head. Actually, Sergeant, regulations require immediate reporting of suspected fuel theft to the chain of command. I've already documented everything and submitted the report to the motor pool officer. 2 hours later, Criminal Investigation Division arrived. Williams was escorted off base in handcuffs. Turns out his fuel skimming operation had been running for 3 years, totaling over $12,000 in stolen government property. The motor pool officer, Captain Johnson, called Allen into his office. Son, how long have you been suspicious about Williams? Since yesterday, sir. His hazing routine seemed unnecessarily complex unless he was hiding something. Plus, the fuel consumption reports haven't balanced in months. Nobody bothered checking because everyone assumed Williams was competent. Captain Johnson leaned back in his chair. What's your background, Allen? Forensic accounting, sir. I was working for the FBI's financial crimes unit before I enlisted. Got tired of chasing white-collar criminals and wanted to serve my country. The captain started laughing. You're telling me Williams tried to scam a federal financial investigator? Yes, sir. Not his smartest decision. Allen got promoted to specialist within 6 months. Became the motor pool's new accountability NCO. Implemented tracking systems that eliminated waste and saved the unit over $100,000 annually. Williams got 5 years in military prison and a dishonorable discharge. His wife divorced him, took the house, and moved back to her mother's place in Ohio. The best part? Allen's systematic approach became standard procedure across the entire division. His fuel management protocols got adopted Army-wide, saving millions in taxpayer money.